Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. And we are here on a special Friday show, 4 p.m., one day before the biggest fight of the year. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford square off. They both weighed in today, right around 9 or 10, I think 9 or 10 a.m. local time, because it was about 12 or 1 when we got the news here. 167.5 for both fighters. When I first saw this, saw Canelo weigh in, he looked good. He looked shredded. Terence Crawford looked really good. I mean, Terence Crawford looked like he was in real shape. That picture, babe, you remember that picture that kept going around of Terence Crawford and Ilian Taporia? Mm-hmm. And he had his shirt off or whatever, and it looked like he had a little baggage in the middle.
That was an old picture.
That's what he said. He said it was like months. He was like, that was before we even started camp.
That was like two and a half months ago.
Yeah. It was before we even started camp. Yeah, that was not the case today. He looked definitely shredded up. I mean, he put on the right weight. You know what I mean? I think what's on everybody's mind now tomorrow is, will that weight be a hindrance to him? Will it help him? Will it give him more power? Does he have more power? I don't know. What were your thoughts when you first saw the weigh-in today?
What I look for is if the fighter is dry or if he looks flat. And his muscles looked very full, right? Yeah. And he looked shredded. He looked shredded. So a lot of times people will say, all right, the added weight's going to slow him down and it's going to make him lethargic. It's going to get him tired. But the flip side to that, and I love what Andre Ward said, because when he moved up to light heavyweight and he was working with Mackie Shillstone, and he said, well, I'm moving up to 175 now. And Mackie Shillstone said, no, you're not moving up. You're just cutting less. He's right. Less. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and be disingenuous and say that Terence Crawford is a full-blown 168-pounder. I'm not going to do that. But he looked like a middleweight to me. He could be a middleweight, I think, with ease. And so is there a size difference here? Of course. Is there a large size difference? No. I would say there's about a 6 to 7 pound weight difference. Maybe, I don't think that's significant. I really don't.
I don't either. And I tell you what, I mean, Crawford looks bigger when they're facing off and stuff like that. Crawford looks like, there doesn't look to be a size difference. There really doesn't. To me, Crawford looks a little bit taller. I know he's got a longer reach, maybe a shade taller.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think my thing is, and they're both the same weight and everything like that. The more I've followed it this week, I'm looking at Canelo, and again, we've talked about him being on the dark side of his career. We know he's slipping some gears right now. I keep going back to the Madrimov fight. And how, Terence Crawford won the fight. He looked okay, but it was tough for him. That was at 54. You're going up to 168 now. Mm-hmm. That's a big jump. And, going, like I said, 147 to because 147, you can't say he really came from 154. He had one fight there. His career's at his big fights are at 147, 140, 147. And then to jump up 20 pounds, 21 pounds, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a welterweight anymore, because he even said before that fight he was going up to 154 anyway. So
yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, man. I know he's going up to 154. We get that, but again, it's still 2 more weight classes north. You're still looking at and I think that was the thing, man. And I'm watching the Madrimov fight, and Madrimov put him in trouble in spots. Now, does Madrimov fight like Canelo? No, not really. But it's a different style matchup. So
yeah, the thing is this. I keep telling people, Madrimov's gonna give everyone a tough fight. No one's gonna run him over. You could argue Crawford won maybe 8 rounds in that fight.
Yeah.
And when you go back and look at that fight, this is why I like Crawford over Canelo here. Because Crawford stepped on the gas, made the adjustment, and he won the last 3 rounds of that fight.
Yeah.
Once he kind of figured out, this guy made an adjustment, so now I got to make another adjustment. I gotta be a little bit more active. I gotta press him a little bit more. I gotta slip in some body shots, and I'm gonna be a hypocrite here. I always say you don't score facial damage, but if you look at Madrimov, that left side of his face, it looked like someone dropped a fucking cinder block on it, because he was getting hit with that jab over and over again, and that's a punch that Canelo gets hit with. And Madrimov was 165 pounds as an amateur. He's a big guy himself. I thought the Ortiz fight was razor close too. I thought that fight, Ortiz may have edged it, or I actually scored it a draw, but most people had Ortiz winning that fight, which is fine. I have no argument with that. So I just think Madrimov, with all that perpetual motion, a lot of that herky jerk, he's got much quicker feet than Canelo. It's just a style. Madrimov has that style, in my opinion, that no one's going to look phenomenal against. You're not going to blow that guy out. Whereas what bothered me really more so is Canelo's performance against Skull. You could argue, did he say to himself, I'm not going to chase this guy around the ring? But we've seen it against Berlanga. We've seen it against Berlanga. We've seen it against Munguia.
Those are the fights, I think.
Yeah.
Those are the fights. It's not the Skull fight. Everybody points to the Skull fight. I don't really count the Skull fight. Skull had no business being in there.
Sure.
He didn't, and I go, he didn't want to be in there. You could tell by the way he fought, he didn't want to be in there.
No, he didn't.
And Canelo just carried him or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he could have knocked him out, because I think Skull was just a little bit too defensive for him. But now Munguia and Berlanga, there's no reason he shouldn't have put. Yeah, neither one of those should have went. I think Chavez Jr. shouldn't have went to a decision.
You got a guy in Madrimov that's got really, really quick feet, right? He's got quick feet. He's fast.
Yeah,
and he's constantly he's got that herky jerky movement, and then he's fainting off that herky jerky movement. Where Canelo is he's more deliberate. He'll do that when he's on the outside. He's not moving much. He has to get his feet under him for anything to work, and it takes him a while to get his feet under him and gather himself to do what he wants to do in there. Madrimov can just do things off, as shout out to Breadman Edwards. He can do things off the bounce. So it's just a different style,
And like I said, Madrimov, and we talked about it was the Virgil Ortiz fight after that. Yeah. The scores for the Crawford fight were 115-113 twice, and then 116-112. Scores for the Ortiz fight, 113-115 twice, and 117-111, a round difference. This guy is going to be a tough out. Madrimov is going to be a tough out for anybody. Nobody's rolling over that guy. Right. He just is.
I would make an argument, right? He could beat Ortiz in a rematch. I would pick him over anyone. He's going to be champion again, and he'll probably move up to 160 and be champion again. I'm just being honest. I'm not. He's a really good fighter. I really hold that guy in high regard. I do.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man. No question. And if you're looking for a litmus test, and I tell you what, listen, either if it was Crawford, what about Crawford, Virgil Ortiz? That would have been a fight we would take too. I like this one, but I like that one too. Any of them, moving away from Madrimov, but talking about Canelo now, again, his last two fights, who was the last two fights? Berlanga and who? Munguia, that's it.
No, Skull. Berlanga and Munguia.
All right, Skull, Berlanga, and Munguia. Yeah. And the William Skull fight, 115-113, right? They had it that close. One of them judges had it that close.
He lost rounds against Munguia, too.
Edgar Berlanga, 117-118, and then 117-116, and 115 for Munguia. Yeah, that shouldn't that should tell you right now, again, everybody's looking at his size. I get it, and I am too. But his boxing ability is slipping. I'm telling you, he's
his
slipping.
His offense has definitely taken a dip.
Yeah.
And I hate to keep repeating myself. It's
No.
because he doesn't have his legs underneath him. It's taking him a longer time to gather himself. And how he does those level changes and he does that dip and then he makes you kind of guess. Makes his opponent guess, is that left hook going to the body or is it going to the head? It's not going to the body anymore. He's just popping up and he's winging that left hook really hard and wide. It's almost like he's swinging for the fences because every punch is going to be a hard punch, and he's looking for home runs because he doesn't want to run the bases anymore.
Right.
He wants to get the fight. He wants to do as little as possible to win this fight, and he's so stubborn that he'll do the level change. If you don't bite on the level change, he's going to keep doing it whether it works or not. Where Crawford, he's gonna force those openings. Canelo's waiting for you to make that mistake.
Yeah.
And more often than not, most guys do. But when they don't take the bait, he continues to do the same thing over and over again without switching up that style. He's never going to be that seek and destroy type guy. He's the counterpuncher. Where Crawford will take the lead with the jab. He'll throw more punches. He'll put shots together, and he's better with the jab than Canelo. The one area where there's two areas here where I think Crawford really excels in this fight, and I think he has pretty decent advantages in. The foot speed is number one. Now people are arguing, well, it's going to be slow, whatever. He looks shredded to me. His muscles look full. The flip side to that is this guy's muscles are full with glycogen. He could be more explosive. He could have more energy because he didn't cut as much. But again, these are all legitimate questions. They're all legitimate questions.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But my concern with his weight is he going to be able to carry that weight for 12 rounds?
Yeah,
without it affecting him. That's a
fair
20-pound jump. You're looking again, man. You're looking at a two division jump or a 3 division jump, whichever one you want to say. But yeah, that's a big one.
I just think, though, honestly, because these guys weigh in 36 hours before the fight, are these guys really fighting in the right weight class? Like, should Spence have stayed at 147 as long as he did?
No.
If
100% no.
we went back to the day of same-day weigh-ins, wouldn't Spence be a middleweight?
Yeah. You would have to. He can't cut that much weight.
And he again, Canelo is bigger than Crawford. He's got a bigger a bigger frame, probably greater bone density. But once again, at any given time, they step on the scale when they're not in camp for a fight. I would argue it's probably a 6 or 7 pound weight difference. I just don't think it's a huge size difference. I just don't.
I'd be real curious to see what the weight is on fight night.
Yeah.
If they take a scale in there and weigh them out, you know what I mean?
We were questioning when it was being reported that Crawford weighed 186 pounds, before the camp started, right? Yeah. He started camp at 186. We were questioning that. And he did look a little heavy, right? He looked a little pudgy, little
didn't look Terence Crawford-esque.
Yeah.
No.
So, but at 167 and a half, did he look like he had a lot of fat on him?
No. He had none.
So he may just be 180, 185 pounds out of camp.
Yeah. I mean, because I can't imagine he gets heavier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like than what we saw in that picture, or he's at 167. What is he? 167 and a half right now.
Yeah. But this is a guy who's fighting guys who probably weigh 165 to 170 pounds the night of the fight. When I'm talking about Terence Crawford, Canelo's probably fighting, like, how much did Berlanga weigh the night? Like Munguia, he's fighting guys who are probably closer to 190.
Yeah.
So Canelo is used to fighting the bigger guys. He is used to taking the heavier shots. But once again, Crawford's going to be hitting them with shots maybe he's not ready for. Maybe he doesn't see. And those are the ones that could do damage too. So this fight is very interesting.
So let me ask you a question. Like, do you think that Crawford can knock out Canelo? Now, we all know it's possible,
Well,
Is that a viable option, though?
is there a scenario, right, where Crawford in the second half of so say they have like a first 4 or 5 rounds, it's a cerebral chess match.
Mm-hmm.
Just no one's really stepping in with anything hard, trying to cause damage. So say after the first 4 or 5 rounds, maybe Crawford's just probing from the outside, but he's landing a lot of jabs. He just keeps maybe not hurting Canelo, but just keeps popping. Yep. Right? That eye starts to swell. Canelo starts to get a little frustrated. The adrenaline starts flowing. Then he starts getting desperate maybe because he's saying, well, you know what? This guy he's not really hurting me, but he just keeps hitting me. He keeps hitting me and I can't get to him, right?
Yeah.
I can't get close to him, but he keeps hitting me. So then Canelo could get frustrated, could get a little bit angry. The adrenaline starts flowing. So then he tries to step on the gas, right? But then when he hits the pedal, maybe the car just doesn't.
And sometimes that happens.
Just doesn't jump off the line like he wanted to. So as the fight wears on, could Canelo really get tired down the stretch? Because Crawford tends to get better as the fight goes on. He gets that second win. He always finishes the fight strong, right? So could there be a stoppage here? It's not impossible. I think the fight does go the distance because what happens sometimes with Canelo is whether he's in control or he's not in control, he'll be happy to just coast in rounds. Yeah. Like in that Bivol fight.
We've seen that before. We've seen it before. In
that Bivol fight, he just basically wrote it out to the end. I'm not going to be as harsh as Paulie Malignaggi and say all the derogatory things about how it.
Yeah, man, he rips these guys.
Yeah, he hates Canelo. But he just basically said, I can only do what I can do against Bivol. And it didn't seem like he had a second gear for Bivol. Didn't seem like he wanted to use a second gear against Berlanga. Didn't seem like he wanted to use a second gear. So I think there is a concern with Canelo about running out of gas. That's why I think he fights at that pace. He tries to do as little as possible, tries to land the big shot so he doesn't have to exert a lot of energy. Just to me, even in his prime, he's always been very economical. He wants you to come to him. He wants to sucker you and bait you into me. Even in that Khan fight where he landed that right hand, how did he open that right hand up? He went boom, boom. And what did Khan do? As soon as he went boom, Khan dropped his hands. And then the right hand. So like
right over the top.
And he's good at doing that, and that works most of the time. But when it doesn't work, then the fight's not so easy, right? Crawford's going to do whatever he has to do to win the fight. I don't know if Canelo will. I don't know if he has it, if he has the ability to, or even if he wants to. I was talking to someone today, and it's like that basketball player that's a really good shooter, but he's just missing his shot, right? But he keeps shooting. You know why? Because he says, I'm a good shooter. Eventually, they're going to go down.
Yeah.
But what if they don't go down? And he just refuses to dish it to somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. And give that other guy a shot at taking the shots. Canelo is he's stubborn. He's just going to fight that way he wants to wait. Like you never see him change up during a fight. He just fights this, and it sounds very minimalistic. I'm not meaning it to sound that way. I'm not meaning it to sound derogatory or denigrating the guy, because most of the time that's all that's needed. But on the rare occasions when more is needed, he hasn't shown us that he has more. I thought he lost both Golovkin fights. I thought he lost the Lara fight. I thought the Trout fight, if he didn't score that, I mean, the knockdown is what really got him ahead to win the Trout fight.
I thought he did good in the Trout fight. I really did. I think because Trout was a good step up for him.
Yeah, he did good in the Trout fight, but that fight was pretty competitive and close too. I didn't agree with those wide scorecards.
No.
So,
and the interesting thing about this fight too is that they're both at an advanced age.
Sure.
Crawford's what, 38? What is he,
He's gonna be
37, 38?
37, and Max told him he was 38 because he's going to be 38 in 2 weeks after the fight.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I'm 37." He goes, "When's your birthday?" And he said September. I guess the date was 2 weeks after that. I think it was September 28th or something like that. He goes, "That's 2 weeks after the fight." He goes, "So you're really 38?" He goes, "No, I'm 37." Like, it was just funny, like the back and forth. He's just busting his balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Canelo's 35. Crawford's
35.
37. At this point, either one of these guys can step in here and not have it that night. At any point, either one of these guys could step in there and be too old.
The odds makers have this 60-40 fight. Now, Canelo was a minus 180. He's now like a minus 165. Crawford was a plus 145. Now he's a plus 135. Wow. So the odds are moving. I'm curious to see if the odds move again after this weigh-in.
Well, I think that I think you will see a lot of late money coming on Canelo. I just do.
You think it's going to go on Canelo? Yeah. You think the fans
Mexican Independence Day? Yeah. In Vegas? Yeah. A lot of late money is going to come in on Canelo.
My opinion is my opinion. I could be totally wrong here. The opinion you should follow should be your own. This is just an opinion from a stranger online. Shout out to Dwyer. That's right. What this is. But I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling really good right now with my pick because I like what I saw at that weigh-in. I think he looked good.
He looked like
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, he really did, man. He looked shredded at that weigh-in.
Let me ask you this. How cool would it be if he came out to the ring with Sugar Ray Leonard? Because Sugar Ray Leonard was like that. Was the last guy to move up to you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Or he could come out with Eminem again. I wonder if he's going to come out with Eminem again.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet, too.
That would be awesome.
Philly Drew, thank you so much, my friend. He said this fight ends in a split decision robbery. I'll tell you what, I wish I could disagree with him. I don't know.
What's crazy?
I think it's definitely a possibility.
Eric, even Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, everyone that is interviewing Crawford from the press is asking him, do you think you're going to get a fair shake on the scorecards? Doesn't it suck that we have to ask that question?
Yeah.
Before every Canelo fight?
Yeah, it does.
And
this happens in history.
It's not Canelo's fault.
Remember De La Hoya? Floyd Mayweather in Vegas.
Yeah,
Canelo,
but Floyd Mayweather, he never had close fights really. Except
what about Castillo?
The Castillo fight, yeah, but
he lost that fight.
I thought he lost that fight.
Yeah, we all thought he lost. The De La Hoya fight, I thought he lost.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought he lost the fight. I thought he lost the De La Hoya fight.
I didn't think he lost the De La Hoya fight, but again, it was a split decision.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? But I think that's my biggest fear when I want to see these guys fight and have a good fight, but you don't want to see them get old in that ring, right? You know what I mean? And it's like they're both at that age. It's tough.
Will this fight live up to the hype? That's the big question.
I don't know. I tell you, the thing, like I said, the thing that keeps that, we made the picks and everything like that. I didn't see anything at the weigh-in that would really change my mind. The only thing you start overthinking and you start saying, hey, you know what? This is a 3 weight class jump because he's had one at 154. I get that. But a 3 weight class jump
on paper is
unheard of.
On paper,
it really is.
Yeah.
Who's the last guy to do this? Who did it?
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Robinson? Sugar Ray Robinson? Was it Joey Maxim and Sugar Ray Robinson?
That was 160 to 175. But keep in mind there were 8 weight classes back then.
Yeah. Okay.
Bob Fitzsimmons was the guy, and this was I think this was a trivia question you got me on when I was doing that game with Nacho.
Yeah. You still remember? I love that you still remember that, by the way.
Oh yeah. I had to send him a Ringside Reporter shirt too. But Bob Fitzsimmons was a middleweight champ, light heavyweight champ, and heavyweight champ.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was the first guy to be a 3-weight champion, and it meant that much more in a time frame when there was only 8 divisions. Being a 3-weight champion in a landscape with only 8 weight classes,
and everybody was undisputed. Yeah, there was only one title.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There was only one guy. That's it.
Do you know before like 1961ish, 62ish? Do you know the promoters used to pay the sanctioning fees? They had the National Boxing Association, which then turned into the WBA in 1962, and then they had the New York State Athletic Commission title, and They didn't even pay sanctioning fees back then. The
No.
promoters used to. The promoters used to. So how crazy
Nonsense.
things have changed right now.
Right. You have to pay to fight.
Yeah.
Instead of getting paid to fight, you have to pay to fight. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, man, I think my biggest thing is, so where is the weight, and can he carry that weight? Can Crawford carry? He looks great with the weight. We all knew he would probably look good with the weight. However,
we can say anything we want today. What matters is tomorrow night.
Right.
How many times have we said this guy looks great? This
and
guy
have him
looks
smashed the
confident.
next day. Yeah.
This guy looks confident.
Yeah.
And how many times have we said this guy looks like shit on the scales?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it
Happens all
all
the time.
depends on what happens.
So I tell you what, but here's my 2 cents on the betting thing. If there was ever a time to put money on a draw, I think this would be it.
A lot of people are saying that.
I think this would be
A
it.
lot of people are saying that.
I'd love to see what the odds are on the draw or whatever, but
And that would rip my fucking heart out if it was a draw. It really would.
yeah, I mean, somebody's got to win this, right? Where does this he would be the first? Would he be the first one in history to have 3 undisputed aside from Fitzsimmons?
Yes. No. Well, let's keep this in context. Fitzsimmons had 1 title he had to win to become undisputed. He'll be the only guy.
Yeah, but that was but in those days it meant something. When you were the champion, you meant something.
But then again, Fitzsimmons had 8 weight classes. He had no junior classes, so he had to make bigger jumps.
And by the way, we're talking the 1800s here.
Yeah,
Bob Fitzsimmons.
into the early 1900s.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
he passed in 1917. He was born in 1863.
Yeah.
He died at like 54 years old.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing. Do you know he had the record as the oldest heavyweight champion before Foreman?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he was champion. He won the heavyweight title at 40 years old. And then he died. And he died 7 years later of pneumonia. If they had the medicine we had today, he probably would have lived longer.
Yeah, Fight Doctor just said Henry Armstrong too. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, you believe you're right too. Because what did he have? 3. He was a 3-division title
simultaneously.
Wasn't he? Yeah,
simultaneously.
So we're talking like rarefied air here, right? Plus 1,200. Philly Drew just said plus 1,200 for a draw. Yeah, that's what you want to. You put a little bit on that anyway.
Yeah,
what do you call it? A tickle? What do you say? Put a tickle on it?
Just put a little tickle on it. But the winning undisputed in the 4-belt era in 3 divisions. That's something to behold. And it was funny too, because when he was talking about it during the press conference, he made sure to say, "I'll be the first male," because I guess Clarissa Shields did it.
Yeah, nobody cares about her.
I knew you were going to.
Why would we even clarify that? Listen, we're talking about undisputed. Come on, stop it. There's like 5 boxers in the women's heavyweight division. I don't want to hear about it.
How did I know what I mean? Going to get that reaction out of you. That's
the first male. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. The first male.
So,
stop it.
What did you think of the whole promotion leading up to this fight? I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was great. I thought this week has been great. You know, but I will say this. Canelo can sell a fight. Crawford, not so much. I mean,
my brother said the same thing. He's like, but then my brother also said something. He goes, but you know what? Crawford's not like the guy that's he's not charismatic. He doesn't have that way about him.
No.
But what my brother did say, and I think he could tap into some people with this attribute, is he's just a regular guy. Like sometimes people like that, just a regular guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, man. But when you got the biggest fight in history, right, or the biggest fight this year, I'll say.
Sure.
And it's tough, man, because like I said, man, he's not a real big talker. He's not charismatic. Yeah. There's nothing about him that draws you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Andre Ward can draw you in. He's got a charisma about him. Roy Jones Jr. has got a charisma about him. You know what I mean? Tonio Tarver,
Floyd
definitely. Yeah, that goes without saying, man. But this guy, again, that's what's tough about it. And that's why he's gone, he's 38 years old fighting this dude now because nobody, again, you have to be able to sell those fights.
Yeah.
Just because you're a good fighter doesn't mean you're going to make it.
No, again, life's not fair.
No.
We have the best friggin' show on YouTube, and there's a lot of channels that have more
like
subscribers
the
than us.
absolute.
We have to bite the bullet on that one.
That's our penance. We go to bed every night knowing we have the best show.
Oh, yeah.
$100 on a draw. G5 says $100 on a draw. Wow. Yeah. I mean, what? So the odds, he said plus 1,200 on a draw. I think you have to kind of take that. I do.
You're gonna bet it, aren't you?
100%. I'm gonna bet that. Yeah, I'll bet the draw. I'll bet the draw, the distance, and I'll probably bet on Crawford.
You're picking Crawford.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I mean, I pick Crawford to win. I mean, no matter what, I'll pick Crawford to win the fight. But yeah, man,
it is when we do these predictions, we have to go with who we believe is going to win. We can't always go by how the judges are going to score it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's out of our hands. We can't control that. And I don't know enough about the judges, honestly.
I mean,
to know where they're going to go.
Yeah, Steve Weisfeld is a good judge, but
that's your boy, isn't it, Steve Weisfeld? That's your guy, right?
Oh, he trained me. Yeah,
he trained you.
He trained me. But here's the thing: the whole world is going to be watching these judges. There's a lot of pressure on them to get it right.
A lot of pressure on these guys.
The stigma is already out there that before the bell rings, Canelo's already going to be up 3-0. So here's the thing: these judges, do they want to be the talk of the town after this fight? Do they want to be the one everyone focuses on? Do they want to have to deal with all of that scrutiny and backlash if they get it wrong? So I'm going to ask you this. And again, these are all hypotheticals. These are all devil's advocate type questions. Knowing that there's already a stigma cast upon them that they're going to maybe favor Canelo, could they make an overcorrection and go the other way and give the close rounds to Crawford because they don't want to be the ones to get criticized at the end of this fight? They don't want to be the story at the end of this fight. Could that happen? Or is that just pie in the sky theory from me?
No, listen, anything's possible, but I think if they're going to favor anybody, you got, what is it, Allegiant Stadium, we're going to be 50,000 or something, just a crazy amount of people there, right?
That's going to be 80% Canelo crowd.
Right.
80%.
So, I mean, if they're going to go one way, it's going to be that way because they're going to be influenced by the crowd and everything like that.
And you remember, though, too, when De La Hoya was getting all those close decisions going his way?
Yes.
And then after a while, the Trinidad one didn't go his way. Mm-hmm. The Shane Mosley one didn't go his way.
But in fairness, I thought he lost both fights.
I thought he won the second Shane Mosley fight. I thought he lost the first one.
He definitely lost the first one. Yeah, the second was much closer. I
thought he won the second one. My opinion.
Yeah, that was definitely much closer.
But he didn't get the decision in both fights.
Yeah. So, and then you look at Canelo Triple G. I mean, Canelo got the nod in that first fight. I mean, I know it was a draw, but there's no way he won that fight. Yeah. That was 117. 8 rounds of 4, 7, 9 rounds of 3. I think I had it 9 rounds to 3, to be honest with you. Yeah. I thought he steamrolled Canelo.
Yeah.
How does the strategy go tomorrow? If I'm Crawford, is there a way to back up Canelo? Because Crawford's not really a runner.
No.
So he's going to stand there. At some point, they're going to have to trade.
But if you go back to like the Breedis Prescott fight, you go back to the Victor Postal fight, you go back to the Ricky, Crawford can box from the outside, and keep his distance and pot shot.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to happen, I believe, he'll fight most of this fight in the southpaw stance. Every now and then, maybe he'll just flick to the orthodox for maybe 10, 20 seconds, 25, 30 seconds tops. He's going to fight this fight predominantly in the southpaw stance. I do think he's going to fight on the outside a lot. I think he's going to try and be like, if you go back to the first 4 rounds of the Bivol fight, do you see how Bivol was kind of like just pot shotting him from the outside, just jab. He didn't start stepping into like the 5th, 6th round where when Canelo started to slow down, and once he realized I could touch this guy whenever I want, That's when he started stepping to him and putting shots together. I kind of see a similar strategy here, where I think the first 4 rounds Crawford's gonna be fighting this fight at a distance, right? And I think he's just keep popping the jab, just circling, probing from the outside. Maybe sneaking a sharp straight left down the pike, maybe doing a nice quick hook off the jab. But I think like around the fifth round, Crawford. That's where Crawford's gonna stop popping in and out. I'm not saying he's gonna camp in the pocket. I think he's gonna pop in and out. I think he's gonna go in there, try to run some combinations. I think he's gonna dig that left hook to the body in some of those exchanges. Mm-hmm. He's gonna try, I think, from the fifth round on, to slip in a body shot with almost every combination to try to slow Canelo down. So I think as the fight wears on, I think you'll start to see Crawford's volume go up a little bit. I think you'll see him stop getting close, moving closer to the Canelo. I'm not saying he's going to sit there and trade with him. He's going to try to get his combinations off, then kind of just pivot out, turn them, and get out of center line.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I think Crawford's going to go to the body early. I think that's what he's going to. I think that's going to be his plan, to try to wear Canelo down. I think he's going to go to the body early. Canelo is going to do what Canelo does. He's going to walk forward and, put the cards on the table. He's going to walk forward and throw punches and be the aggressor. But Crawford, that the same strategy that they say Meldrick Taylor employed with Chavez was, tight circles. We may be going backwards, but it's circle. We're circling. We're not going backwards. We're not running. It's a
constant. We're taking a half step back, and as soon as we take the half step back, we're going in the circle.
That's it.
The back's not touching the ropes.
We rotate. You stay off of those ropes.
We're not going straight back, and we're not continuously going back. We're just getting our space, and we're circling around the perimeter.
Yeah,
that's it. Tight circle.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think. That's what he'll employ, because we're not going to see Crawford run. We may see him on the back foot sometimes, but we're not going to see him run, unless he gets hurt. And that's the other thing. If one of these guys gets hurt early, this fight's going to be in the bag for whoever, because once you get tagged early, we've seen it a million times. When you get tagged early, and to try to finish that, it's hard. It's hard to try to come back from.
The odds makers are telling us, though, this is more than likely a distance fight. Let's see if they're right.
Yeah.
Let's see if they're right.
Now, as far as weigh-ins, let's see here. Both of obviously 167.5 for both Crawford and Canelo. On the undercard, the junior middleweights, Callum Walsh 153.5 and Fernando Vargas Jr. 153. I think this is going to be a good fight, and I really like Fernando Vargas Jr. in this fight.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards him, but so much of the hype is around him here. I'm a little concerned that maybe he's overlooking Liam Walsh, because Liam Walsh is still he's just going to be a tough test for him.
Yeah,
for both guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll make the safe pick here, and I'll go with Vargas Jr. here. But again, I would not be shocked.
Not an easy fight. Not an easy fight.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Walsh were to win this fight.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez. Christian Mbili and Martinez both weighed in at 167 for Mbili's WBC interim title at super middleweight. Muhammad Alakel is from Riyadh at 132, and then he's going to fight Travis Kent Crawford, who's 7-4-2 from 132 pounds, 132.5 pounds. So yeah, and then Brandon Adams and Sergey Borachuk both made weight 155. Brandon Adams weighed 156. Wow. And 10 rounds junior middleweights. Yeah, I was surprised too. I'm surprised that he came in a pound over. There's no title on the line, so they're allowed. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think this was a middleweight fight. I thought. That's why.
Yeah. Let me double check it here.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he Bohachuk didn't come in a little heavy.
No, junior middleweight.
It is listed as junior middleweight, because I did hear Bohachuk wants to go up to 160 because he said he was having problems making 154. But okay,
that's a big deal, and like I said, man, it is a huge deal, because I wonder where does Canelo come from? 180, 190.
I think Canelo probably walks around, in my opinion, no more than 185.
I've never really seen him like out of shape.
Doesn't look.
You know what I mean?
He does not look significantly bigger outside of camp.
No, like
He just
outside.
doesn't.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like outside of camp and outside of between fights, he doesn't have a tendency to blow up between fights or anything like that. He usually, every time you see him, he looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, he does. He does.
So what would be? So let me ask you a question. What happens if Canelo wins this fight? Is he the best Mexican fighter ever?
You can definitely make the argument.
He can be in the conversation, right?
Most people are already saying he is the best Mexican fighter ever based off of. I don't think anyone touches him based off of accomplishments. Who's ever done what he's done?
Well, you could say Chavez, but Chavez is only in a couple weight. It wasn't in the same. You know what I mean?
Wasn't I don't think he was undisputed ever.
That's a good point. That's a good point too. Yeah,
He
never undisputed.
He never won. He won a title, I think, at junior lightweight, and super lightweight. So he's won a title in 3 divisions. Canelo's won the titles in 4 divisions, right? He's been undisputed twice at 168.
Yeah. What about Crawford if he wins? Obviously, both these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers.
People are already saying this is what people are saying. I don't agree with it, and this is no disrespect to Crawford. I love the guy. They're saying that they're going to put him as the best fighter of all time if he beats Canelo, and I don't know if I'm prepared to do that. But
no, we're not. I don't know that we're prepared to do that.
You may be able to throw him in the top 15 or so.
Because I will be honest, man, he does have a lighter resume. He does. He just does.
It's not his fault, but
nope, not his fault at all. And it takes nothing away from his accomplishments.
No. The one fight that was supposed to be a memorable fight ended up being a blowout.
Complete blowout.
Ended up being a blowout.
And if he does that to Canelo, man, that'll be.
If he beats Canelo clearly, without a question,
yeah,
his stock goes through the roof.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Canelo, if he beats Crawford, it does nothing. It's just going to do nothing for him. It's not fair. It's not fair because he's going to be getting the best Crawford. He's going to be getting a still highly skilled Crawford. But what's going to be said at the end of this is he beat a welterweight.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
that's what's going to be said. I won't be saying that, but a lot of other people,
but I mean that's going to be the chatter. You know, it's always the Sunday on Sunday, and this is what I don't want to hear on Sunday is that one of these two guys was terrible. You know,
I'm prepared.
Canelo was overrated or Crawford was overrated. I told you. You know, no, neither one of these guys are overrated.
I'm prepared to give Canelo full credit if he beats Terence Crawford. I'm going on record right now. I won't say anything. I won't tarnish. If I think he lost the fight, but he still got the decision, then maybe I'll say, well, I didn't think he won. But if he wins the fight, if we get a fight like the second Triple G fight where I thought he lost that fight, but you could definitely make an argument he won. You know, then I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit. But if he loses, if something happens like the first Triple G fight, I'll be critical of it, but I'll have to accept it. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw my toys out of the pram, but I won't be happy with that. So I am crossing my fingers and hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, the fight doctor says Alvarez is in a lose-lose situation. I would go along with that.
He is, whether that's fair or not.
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. He's in a lose-lose situation.
Pugilism says Canelo is an all-time great. Chavez never fought a version of Bud at 168. Chavez lost to Sweet Pea and Randall. Well, he didn't lose to Sweet Pea. He won. It was a draw. I mean, everybody else thought he lost.
He lost to Frankie Randall.
Yeah, he lost. He definitely lost that fight.
And I thought he actually lost. He lost.
I was going to say, that second fight too, because Randall knocked him down in that second fight. Also,
you take a fucking point away from Randall, and then that was bullshit. Why don't you just say fucking Randall? Why don't you just fucking put the WBC belt in the fucking gift basket? And just fucking just stick it in Chavez's locker room before the fight.
And Randall, what Frankie Randall said that he never got the belt. You know how like you get two. You get one sent to your house and one for you and one to take to the fights. When you take it to the fights, the belt goes home with the new guy, right? But he sends it back because he gets 2 belts. So once you get the second belt, you send it back and they send it back to the other guy. That's how it used to work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it used to work. But Chavez never sent it back. He said, I ain't giving it to him.
Fucking Chavez. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think I remember Randall complaining about that during one of his interviews. Poor Frankie Randall.
Question mark kick. Thank you so much. He said, thoughts on Sean Zittle confronting Dana yesterday? Smart or dumb move by Sean? So we were just talking about this before we came on air. Listen, it's okay to ask the question. I don't think there's anything wrong with the question he asked. The fact that he kept on knowing he's not going to get an answer and then had no questions for the fighters, that's what bothered everybody, I think. That's what bothered me. I thought it was a lousy, like I said, if you know what, once you got that response, you shouldn't have done that. You should have moved on.
I have nothing but respect for Sean Zeitel because when I was at the Boxing Voice, he was at the Boxing Voice, and I know how hard he works, and I do believe when he says something, he means it. So I don't think, that has been an issue that's been bothering him. In my opinion, I don't think it was the right place or the right time because I felt, in my opinion, that it was just disrespectful for the fighters. You're there for the fight. You weren't there for the Muhammad Ali act. You were there to cover the fight. So out of respect, I think you should have had questions for the fighters.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't think there was anything wrong with the question per se.
Whatever you want, you can ask whatever you want.
You can ask whatever you want.
Like he said, First Amendment rights. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of when it went off the rails. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't about it wasn't about First Amendment rights. It was about the fight. You know what I mean? Your question has nothing to do with the 2 guys sitting up there. So why did you
once you knew you weren't going to get an answer?
That's it. Then you move forward.
Then it seems like you kept going at him because then it became you just wanted to get a rise out of him at that point.
Right. And that's when you're trying to make a sound bite and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's the way I like Sean Zattel. I have a lot of respect for Sean Zattel. I just didn't agree with that. We can agree to disagree, and I still like and respect him. I still think he does great work.
Yeah.
I think he's an outstanding interviewer. I have nothing bad to say about him. I just disagreed with him. And if he wanted to ask the question, he can ask the question. But the fact that you didn't ask the fighters anything, it makes it look like you had I'm not saying you did have an agenda, but it makes you look like you had an agenda.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that you asked the same question 3 different ways.
Yeah.
And he turned it down all 3 ways. He said, do you have anything for these guys? And then finally he got mad and said,
Sean, I can help you out with the question you asked. If the California State Athletic Commission, after their hearing, decides they don't want the Muhammad Ali Act, will you still go through with TKA boxing? First of all, the Muhammad Ali Act is federal legislation. So a state can't say that they don't want to follow it. What a state commission can do is they can add their own rules on top of the Muhammad Ali Act, and the fighters have to follow that, and the promoter and the promotion has to follow that. But the Muhammad Ali Act is federal legislation. So if they decide that they are going to allow for unified boxing organizations to be able to operate in the sport of boxing, then it's federal law. States have to follow it. Now, the California State Athletic Commission, they can pick and choose what fights they want to sanction and what fights they don't. That's fine. It's up to them.
Yeah.
But a state can't just say, "Oh, we're not going to abide by the Muhammad Ali Act." Once that gets passed by the Congress, it's a wrap. The states have to follow. It's federal legislation.
Right, and it's over anyway. It's a wrap anyway. I mean, like I said, all these guys are tied in with Trump. That thing's going to go through. There's no point in even
it's a Republican House. It's a Republican Senate. Yeah. There's no way that doesn't get passed.
No way it doesn't get passed.
And then you got JD Vance, who could also vote on it if it's a tie. It's getting passed
from Titletown, by the way.
And here's the other thing: the Fertitta brothers run Vegas, so you think if they need to put a fight somewhere, they just put it in Vegas. They don't have to go to California. Yeah. Who gives a fuck? So I could have helped you out with that. What the California State Athletic Commission is doing with this hearing is really inconsequential. Means nothing. Means
No,
nothing.
no, it doesn't. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I think that's about. I tell you what, Beeb. I think that about covers it, man. The fight is going to be now. So the weigh-in is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Netflix.
They're showing that at 9.
At 9.
Oh, that sucks.
Right?
I mean, we saw the photo, like we saw it and stuff, but it's kind of cool seeing the ceremonial weigh-ins.
Ceremonial weigh-ins, that's where things pop off. Is at the weigh-in, because these are all they bring them in one at a time to weigh in at the actual weigh-in. They'll bring him in one because Robert. I talked to Robert earlier. It sounded like he was confused about it because I said he thought the weigh-in was at 9. I said no, the ceremonial is at 9. The actual weigh-in takes place in the morning. That's how the UFC's always done it, and since they're promoting it, then So they've already weighed in. The weigh-in, the ceremonial weigh-in tonight, where they'll do the face-off and all that other good stuff, happens tonight at 9. So
that's pretty late for a ceremonial weigh-in. Right.
Well, it's 6:00. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's 6:00 in Vegas, so it's West Coast time, man.
Listen, it is what it is. They made weight. The fight's happening.
I don't care,
I'm not going to make a big deal about it.
And we both saw them at the weigh-in, so we know what they look like.
Shout out to the people who posted it on Instagram. Thank you, guys.
So final predictions. What do you got?
Crawford, unanimous decision.
I got Crawford with a decision win. Whether it's unanimous or not, I don't know.
I'm just going to say Terence Crawford by decision. I'm not even going to. I don't know.
No, you said it. You can't go back on it now.
Please, let me
over
change.
with.
Can I get a little grace?
All right. I'll give you a little attitude on that one.
Just going to pick decision.
Decision, me too. Yeah, Terence Crawford.
I don't know if it's going to be split. I don't know if it's going to be majority.
I don't know either. I don't know. Pugilism said the grill is fired up. Let's go. That's exactly. Right. So tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun, man. Tomorrow's going to be a whole lot of fun. So guys, tune in on Sunday at 6 p.m. and we'll have the recap of everything. And if you haven't done it yet, like and subscribe to our channel. That really helps us out. And like and subscribe. I mean, Beeb does shows all week. We have this special one coming in for the weigh-in. Beeb does shows during the week as well. We catch up on all the boxing news on Sunday and everything like that. So go subscribe to us, guys. Guys, we will see you Sunday at 6 p.m. And I can't wait, man. I will talk to you guys then.